Flextool EFRP Configurator Software application is for creating, editing configuration settings for the eFlex Relay panel. The configuration settings can be stored to a file on a PC, uploaded to an EFRP, or configuration settings can be downloaded from an EFRP for editing and storing to a file. The main menu has the following menus and menu items. From File, create a new default configuration, open existing configuration file, load a template file, save a configuration to a file, or save a configuration to a different file name. From the panel drop-down menu, we can connect to an EFRP, upload a configuration to a relay panel, or download a configuration from a relay panel. The toolbar has the following icons for quick access: New Config, Open an existing config, Save a configuration, Connect, Upload config to an EFRP, or download configuration from a relay panel. The EFRP configuration info panel shows the name for the current configuration. This can be edited. It shows the configuration version. And when a file is open, it will show the file name and location. At the bottom are control tabs for configuration settings. First is the input banks. This allows us to make settings for the occupancy, daylight, contact closure inputs, or CAPT stations. We can view this by input type or by input bank. There are 4 input banks on an eFlex relay panel. Occupancy settings allow us to change the mode, polarity, occupied preset, or unoccupied preset. We can also assign which zones will be controlled by this occupancy sensor input. For daylight, we can change the polarity, active high, active low, for syncing sourcing daylight sensors. We can also assign which zones will be controlled by the daylight sensor. Contact closure inputs, we can change the mode, polarity, and the response preset on contact closure, depending on the mode of operation. For CAPT stations, we could change the preset for the favorite preset button on a 5-button preset station. You also assign which zones can be controlled by a particular CAPT input. For the time clock emergency, for the time clock or demand response input, you change the mode, polarity, and the response preset depending on the mode of operation. We also assign which zones will be controlled by the time clock or demand response input. For emergency, we assign which zones will be included in an emergency event. The preset tab allows us to edit the preset names, which you can pull up from a library, edit the fade times, or edit the zone levels for each zone. On the DMX tab, we can change the start address, the DMX loss behavior, and which zones will be controlled by DMX. On the Zones tab, we can change, edit zone names, set the load type, and adjust the high and low trim. On the Control tab, We have diagnostics. We can do a ramp test and turn relays on and off. This tab also includes adjustments for a secondary daylight zone. Using the daylight zone scale factor, we can adjust for any zone independently on a relay panel.